I'm going to introduce our speaker today, who's our illustrious Jeff Jans. He's been with us from the beginning. He is our teacher. He's taught SQ21 and conscious evolution in the past for us. He's a thespian. For those of you who don't know, that is not an ugly term. That means an actor.
uh, both the prayer was really great. Yeah, that was wonderful because it's a perfect introduction for what all this is about. I was reading several books by our New Thought gurus a while back, and it was all very, very serious stuff. It was all, and there was no lightheartedness to almost any of those books that I read. And I'm not gonna, yeah, there were thumbs down from Lynn over there. um, and so I thought, why? And and they kept gnawing at me because this was a while back. And then it occurred to me that there's just laughter is spiritual. And uh, and so I went on a bit of a hunt. Yes, a hunt to find if there was anything written about humor, laughter, and its way in which it is helping to develop spirituality. And lo and behold, there's just amazing amount of stuff out there. So I'm going to dump it all on you right now. Actually, no. This is going to be today very specific about ego, which was wonderful to put it that way, humility, and how many people know someone or are someone like me who thinks they're right all the time? Oh, yeah, of course. It's just, yes. We're going to get into that a little bit too. All right. So, laughter as a spiritual practice. Um, Spirituality, this is a great definition, I thought, is about recognizing that there is a power higher and greater than what and the five senses that we have. And so we tap into that in various ways. And humor, jokes, is one of them. And I want to look at how does it contribute to all of those different factors that are that are spiritual. So let's talk about some benefits of this real quick. Um, Consciously decreasing ego while becoming more humble. Hmm. Can you do both simultaneously? I guess you can. Yeah. Um, and and it's funny too as you do it. So we'll talk about that. Um, so stop being right all the time is, or be right when it's appropriate, or when just don't make up something because it's about your ego. And then mindfulness, so that we're always looking. Laughter itself is always in the present. Can you think when you're laughing, was it in the past, is it future laughing, or it's always right now? And so that is the very definition of mindfulness, or at least one of them. And so being funny or finding something funny uh, takes you to the present, takes you away from whatever else was worrying, or whatever. So I think that's really cool. Anyway, um, So emotional intelligence and empathy, when you are understanding other people, when you're laughing with them, and there is a connection that gets made when you agree that something's funny. That both you and somebody else are laughing together, and that bonds you in some terrific ways. So that's another great part of it. And then there's gratitude and appreciation, so that you find a shared sense of humor that is that can last a good while. I mean, so that, and then that leads to saying things that are, you have like little short ways of communicating that aren't having to explain so much. You just cut to the chase, and they laugh. They know there's a real camaraderie about that. So good. And then negative emotions. When you're pounding yourself for being so, fill in the blank, that you can laugh your way out of that. And that's cool too, to be able to, heal yourself. And what that reminds me about is, I'm forgetting his name, Norman Cousins, who wrote a book, The Anatomy of an Illness. And he was on death's door. The doctors were saying bye, and he was sick of all that, and said, I'm going to heal myself. And so by accident, he was watching a Marx Brothers movie. Anybody watch Marx Brothers movies? Yeah, very, very funny. And he thought, this is great, and continued to watch more and more Marx Brothers movies, and was laughing the whole time. And he got better fast. It helped. And he cured himself. Went on and lived another, 10 years, 15 years. Yeah, wow. So he discovered laughter as healing. And yes. Yes, you're going to tell a lot when I'm done. Thank you. Oh, good. Wait a minute. Okay. Shut up. Okay. Thanks for that, Patrick. Okay. So the goal here is to find humor, hear humor and laughter, and how it heightens spiritual awareness, and simultaneously experience the humor. So there's going to be lots of jokes, and several of the entire worship committee will come up here and tell you jokes. That'll be fun. Anybody ever watch Prairie Home or listen to Prairie Home Companion? Yeah, sure. There was every year, one time they did a joke session, and it was hysterical. All they did was tell jokes the entire time, and I just loved it. And I think this is kind of be like that a little bit. All right, so okay. Before we start telling some jokes, I would like for you to think about your current state of mind. How are you right now? Are you fidgety? Are you anxious in some way? Are you just perfectly wonderful and loving this so far? Right? Yeah. And then how are you? So think about that and label it. And I'll give you a couple of seconds to think about that. Okay. I'm curious. Good. Oh. No rush. I just wondered if I should go use the ladies' room first. Can you? No, I'm not going to say that. How about right now? No. Sit down. And we're going to tell some jokes. Okay. Come on up. Okay. That's what you're doing. First hard part. Yes. You got the mic? Go. All right. We're going to hear a whole series of jokes that have to do, to some extent, with uh, new thought and spiritual enlightenment. And, like a lot of jokes, they kind of deride the thing a little bit. They kind of make fun of it a little bit. And that's cool. So you can laugh at yourselves. Okay. Go for it.
It's a lot more intimidating when you're looking at the group like this. That wasn't a joke. That's just my perspective. Okay. According to most studies, people's number one fear is public speaking. Number two is death. Death is number two. This means to the average person, if you go to a funeral, you're better off in the casket than doing the eulogy.
How enlightened are you? If you can be cheerful, ignoring aches and pains,
If you can resist complaining,
If you can understand when your loved ones are too busy to give you any time,
If you can take criticism and blame without resentment,
if you can face the world without lies and deceit,
If you can relax without liquor,
if you can sleep without drugs,
if you can honestly say that deep in your heart you have no prejudice against creed, color, religion, gender preference, or politics,
then you have almost reached the same level of spirituality and development as your dog.
a friend visiting another town wanted to pay respects at the gravesite of a relative whose funeral he had not been able to attend. He used his smartphone's GPS to find the cemetery. As he drove into the peaceful place, the female voice on the GPS announced, "You have arrived at your final destination."
Okay. A little girl asked her mother,
how did the human race appear?
the mother responded this way.
God made Adam and Eve, and they had children, that's how all mankind made. Did I? blow
Yes,
that?
all mankind.
Okay,
Let me have it back.
Father answered.
And so the little girl, a couple days later, asked her father the same question. And here's what. Yes. And the girl was confused. So she returned to her mother and said, Mom,
How is it possible that you told me the human race was created by God and Dad said that they developed from monkeys?
Well, dear, it's very simple. I told you about my side of the family, and your father told you about his.
while walking the dog tonight, I heard new ideas and perspectives coming from the forest. Then I realized it was enlightening bugs.
actually enlightening bugs, right? Is that what enlightening bugs? Okay. You? Okay. Thank you all. We're gonna sit back down and we'll do that in a bit. Yeah. Okay. Was that fun? Was that the jokes that you wanted? Good. Yay. Thank you. And so, back to the state of your current your mind right now. Remember, I asked you before we started that to what's happening with you right now? Are you in any way perturbed? Or are you feeling like I got lots more stuff to do today and probably should get out of here? All those things. Did that change while you were listening to the jokes?
In the moment.
Yeah.
More connected.
Yeah. Say it again.
Amped up.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. Everybody. Yeah. So what does that tell you? What's that about? How does humor and the laughter take you? Where does it take you? And
Life is a joke.
perfect. Yes. Well, that's true. That's it. Well, for a moment, you were thinking about something that was with you and present, and it could be wonderful, could be positive, negative, it could be just confusion or all kinds of different things, and the laughter took you out of it. You became present. I think you did. You were all laughing, so it's pretty good. Okay. And so that's kind of how we're going to go with this, where we talk about something that what laughter does in terms of spirituality, and then actually do it, so that there's some sort of actual experience of how laughter can zap you into the present. All right, more. All right. Subverting the ego. Here we go. Okay. Oh. Yeah. Not up there? Oh, no, that's a joke up there. And it says, what do you call a man who brags about having a very large penis? The answer is egotistical. Okay, here we go. All right. So a spiritual journey begins with affirming the ego and then diminishing its power by being and growing with humility. And so being able to laugh at yourself and the things that you do that are, crazy, a little idiosyncratic, stuff like that, that you could take a negative point of view about yourself with some of those things, or you can laugh at them. And so that's what we want to do. We want to be able to laugh at those things. And so here are a few. Well, how do you laugh at yourself when you said something very embarrassing? Or how about you farted in a packed, quiet elevator? Oh, that's always fun. Realize you forgot your wallet when checking out of the grocery store, drove past the exit to get to your house. Mickey does that all the time. And sorry. And then a decent piece of your shirt is flowing out from the zipper of your pants, and you just walk past hundreds of people in the busy airport. Anybody ever had that?
No, but I've had the back of the skirt in my panties.
I want to hear about that later. That's good. Unfortunately, the reason that's up there is because I had that problem. So, how embarrassing. Yes. Okay. So, want to do it from right there where you are? Okay. Here are some more jokes. They're about ego. So, Carolyn? Oh, yeah, you go first? Okay, yeah. Oh, wait. Oh, no, we're ahead of that. Sorry, that's too far ahead. Hold on. Okay. All right. Here, sorry, I leaped ahead. So most people who fart in an elevator they're ashamed. You make no eye contact with others and you wish you could suddenly become invisible. But here are some things a person with great self-esteem might say. Oops, I beg your pardon, that was last night's chili taking its revenge. How embarrassing. Has anyone ever farted in an elevator? Yeah, I did. They all agree. Blame the person next to you by saying, couldn't you have waited till we reached the floor, your floor? Simply admit that it was you who farted and say, that was me. Please don't think badly of me. I'm a very polite person and considerate person. And at the moment, I'm humiliated. So if you are able to do that and, make, laugh at yourself and the things that you do, everyone gives you a break. Yes. Oh, sure. Yeah. I'll copy that down. We'll use that for later. Okay. So the idea of being able to laugh at your own, here's the word, foibles. How do you spell foibles? Yeah, you got all kinds of things that you do that you go, oh, geez, and laugh at those things. Yes. So brings about humility. So in Zen, there is a concept called muga that essentially is no ego and or no duality. So no fixed permanent self or ego, and all people are interconnected and constantly changing. So also in the Zen folks love to laugh. There is laughter all throughout Zen Buddhism, and that's what that's about. So, but regardless of whether there's no ego or non-duality, there are still choices, and you can be frustrated. You can keep rigidly to the way in which things are at the particular moment and don't want to change in any way, or recognize and laugh at the contradictions and paradoxes that are all around us. And so you have a choice. Worry about it, get consumed by it, or just laugh. And that's, to me, always the answer. Is that right, Mickey? Okay. All right. All right. So here we go. In order to begin to understand your place in the larger order of things is what humility is doing for us. So here's some ways to do that. Be more open to learning. Focus on growth and improvement. Is everybody doing this? Of course. Yes. Well, here's a joke. Who's got it? Want to read it?
My humility knows no bounds. In fact, it's so massive that even my ego is impressed.
So that's wonderful. Being more flexible is what humility can do in terms of finding other possibilities and finding other ways in which to view a person, a situation, problem of some kind. And so, who's next?
I thought about entering a humility contest, but then I thought I might win.
Wonderful. Another one is to be more empathetic. more attuned to feelings of others and consider their beliefs and opinions. So by doing that, you open yourself up to be influenced. And so that's kind of cool. And also share opinions yourself. So next.
My wife, she should embrace her mistakes. She gave me up.
Yeah. Yeah. And be more self-aware, understand your own strengths and weaknesses, be curious, and also do that for others. Ask about and find out what those are for others, and also how curious they are. And lastly, see the big picture. By looking at what is all of the different factors that go into a situation, a relationship, or whatever, it opens you up to see and know lots of other aspects to it. So, last one.
I told my friends.
Great. Thank you all. That was wonderful. Okay. Here's a song that I think you all know. Great. Okay. Asimov. Yes. So, the need to always be right. The problem with that is that it's the want. The want itself is disconnected from the actual knowledge that you impart. So this is really super ego at work. And so wanting to be right comes from wanting others to know how smart you are. I do that a lot. No. And so it's versus obtaining the right answer, the correct answer, the best possible answer. So the need to be always right really gets in the way of our ability to be humble and I think to continue spiritual growth. So here we go. Oh, this is the other thing. Our education system, you get rewarded for good grades, right? And so when you are right, you get in school a star or an A or whatever, how they grade you. And that then leads to a real great sense of self-esteem. And however, getting the right answer becomes the primary purpose of your education, not the actual learning. So what happens then is that lesson, that concept takes you forward into your life, possibly, and you are, always right. So we're going to work with this just a little bit more. So choosing to win an argument at all costs is, and changing damaging relationships is an ego out of control. So you need to win an argument. It's an assured thing that the person who is not listening, not actively listening, and the person, tell me this, when you're with somebody who's always right, what is your reaction to them? Whatever. No, you're whatever. You tune out. You go away. You make fun of them. No. All of the yeah. Yeah. So, and also, I sort of feel like not just diminished. I've often, someone's talking on and on. I'm just going, oh God, leave me alone. So, yes, you're not making many great friends. So, and here's a good one. If the woman is always right and a man is always wrong, then if a man tells a woman she's right, is the man right or wrong? There's a conundrum. That's good. Yes. Oh, I was right, but I'm never wrong. So some ways to help yourself get out of being right all the time is have a trusted friend, one who you will not scream at when they actually tell you that they're being right all the time. And so they'll give you some feedback, but that can be risky, dicey. Ask yourself if the issue is worth being right about. That's, I get that. I understood that pretty quickly and said, I don't need to bother with this, and just move on. And then trying to look at people from a more compassionate point of view, it's you understanding that there's something more at work here than just the being right. I don't know if you want to psychoanalyze that, but there is really something going on there that's not being present. And I like this too. Wanting to be right makes you focus on what's wrong, rather than being able to look at what is right in the talk, in the relationship, and what the person is saying. So flip it around. That's what that's about. And then I love this about Eckhart Tolle, who wrote a book on spiritual humor. One of the books that is including a lot of stuff in here, we'll see later, that as we grow, our ego presence, its grip becomes more willing to consider different points of view. And he says that is a sign of spiritual growth. So, yeah, don't be right. Okay. This is an activity. I'll talk about it later. But so the idea here is that's all, folks. Thank you.